Hey guys, welcome to ADR Tech Reviews, and today we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the R9 285 ITX edition by Sapphire. There. This is overclocked, factory overclocked. I don't know how much, but I do know that when I got it, it was at 928 megahertz, which I did overclock to 1020 megahertz, which was very impressive, at least in my mind. Because you know that I did have that 270 that didn't overclock for shit. Well, what are my opinions on this card before I start? It's really well built, very well cooled, especially because it's an ITX version. I don't know, I'm going to put it up here somewhere. It's very small, and you'll see that the heat sinks, there's a plate cooling basically everything on there from memory to power, for what are those things called? Damn it. Oh, power delivery, yes. And it really is keeping the entire card cool. Max temperatures I get on load was around 64 degrees Celsius, which is very impressive with an overclock, may I add. Talking about overclocks, I did not overclock the memory, but I did overclock the GPU to a nice, and as you heard, 1020. Not 10,000. 10,000 would be way too much. It does have one 8-pin, unlike I've heard that it is one 8-pin and a 6-pin on other cards, but this one has one 8-pin. It doesn't seem to be a problem, at least I think so. It does have that one fan that actually cools a lot more than you think and isn't that loud. I do have a custom curve when I do my overclocking, but when it comes to fan speed, I usually have it around 50 up to 60 and never really goes over that. To some people that may be a little bit loud, so they would probably keep it at stock, which is fairly silent, or they would make their own custom fan curve to make it a little bit quieter. This does not have the no spin, so let me actually look in the box. No, it doesn't go 0 RPM, but you can easily do like a quiet fan curve. But remember, that will give you a lot higher temperatures. Well, not too much, but it will give you higher temperatures, and it'll probably restrict you from overclocking as high as I think I did. I don't know if that's as high as other people have gone, but it did yield very good results in my opinion. The numbers that I'm about to show you guys, I do have the GPU overclocked on all of them, and I think every single one of them I have the CPU overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz, except the Valley, I think. I don't think I overclocked the CPU on the Valley benchmark one. Doesn't really matter, it's 0.4 gigahertz either way. Alright, so let me just stop stalling here and give you straight to the numbers. Alright, so after you see the numbers, you'll probably see that some of these numbers might not be super impressive. I know the Star Citizen, I know the DayZ, and I do think the Arma 3 numbers were a little bit low, on the low side. Well, just to let you know, DayZ and Arma 3 are optimized for NVIDIA, DayZ being barely optimized in the first place, and Star Citizen not being optimized at all. Battlefield 4 numbers were taken in campaign, not multiplayer, as they're probably stated on top of the graphs. But I did that specifically so I wouldn't have any network lag issues, because I do have very slow internet. Also, I did have it on. I did the test on the most, in my opinion, the most graphically intensive part of the campaign, which is the last mission where all that fire is on the boat. So that also took a great hit on the GPU. As I said, also, the card is overclocked. But, honestly, I'll give you my opinion on the card itself. Should you get the card? I think so, yes. If you want an ITX build that, you want to make a very powerful ITX build for not too much money, you can get the 380, which is this card basically rebranded to 380, and I will talk about that in another video. you can get that card, and it'll be the same ITX Compact Edition, and most likely will yield the same performance numbers. You can get that on Newegg, or you can get a used 285 on Amazon or eBay, and you can go that route. Or if you want a desktop build, you can get a full-size 285 or 380 and just put it in that, and it'll yield around the same performance or a little bit more, considering that it's a little bit cooler, and it'll give you higher overclocking numbers. Oh, and remember that the 380 actually has the 4GB GDDR5 memory, not the HBM. The HBM is the Fury X, and this one has a, if I remember correctly, 2GB of GDDR5 memory. I'm going to give you a little spoiler for my next video. It's probably going to be a 285 versus 380 comparison. I don't have a 380 on hand, but they're very alike, and I just kind of want to talk about it in general, about the 300 series. So yeah, I think that's about it. Do I like this card? Yes, I do. Very, very much. I'm significantly happy with this card. Would I recommend this card? Yes, I will. Any negative points about the card? No. By the way, there's no coil whine, unlike there was on the 270. Is that it? Yes, it is. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next one.